So I'm Seye Adelekan, and I play bass in Gorillaz and Damon Albarn's live bands, as well as singer-songwriter, producer from London. And we are at the lovely Baum Studios / workshop here in Denmark. And we are here because of this baby, the 10th anniversary version of my custom signature Baum Thunder bass. So the Thunder bass came around because Gorillaz was going on tour a few years ago, and I'd already started this wonderful relationship with the guys here at Baum, and I wanted something really cool for this tour. And one of the things that kind of was happening with the imagery was this pink color, and I thought it was quite cool because there was a sort of lightning bolt, sort of thunder kind of insignia in some of the imagery. So I decided, wouldn't it be cool if we tried something? And then everybody here was like really into the idea, and so we worked on building this Thunder bass, the initial version, but it's lightning pink, and you know it's really, really cool, but it's a bit crazy, like the color scheme, and it served me really, really well on tour, and it was amazing, and still sounds amazing, and I still got it in my Gorillaz rig. But with this version, I think it's a way more accessible color scheme. I think a lot more people would be able to play this actually on stages around the world. It plays just as well, if not better. Looks just as good, if not better. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to play it myself, and I'm really excited for other people to get a chance to.
In northern rain, it's getting wet. Oh, remembering.
Oh my. I don't know how you managed to make it even better. Well, I'm kind of speechless. This is pretty crazy. That's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And the last bass was pretty cool. Well, I think the main difference, as you can probably see, is the colour. So the other bass is the pink with white scratch plate, and but I think, yeah, we've kept the gold head, we've kept the gold hardware because just gold is super cool. So we have that. We've changed the inlay a little bit as well. There's a slightly different inlay going on here. I think it's slightly lighter. The shape is slightly different as well, but we kept the same ethos. I think it's still just these two pickups. It's really, really straightforward controls. I'm a real big believer in simplicity. Like, I don't really change the tone like loads personally. I make a lot of the difference in tone from my fingers, or whether I'm plucking like that or if I'm using a pick. You can get a really wide variety of sounds out of this thing, and you don't need to have different pots that you can pull, and like different things, switches on it, etc. It's passive, it's solid, and it does anything. So I do believe that keeping things simple puts more emphasis on the player. And actually, I think that's more fair. I think a lot more people, especially when I was growing up, you thought if you bought a PRS, that made you a great guitar player. Or if you had the latest, top, just model from some guitar company, that's what made you a great player. But actually, I think I don't want to be defined by the instrument as much as the things that I can do, and have the instrument as just be part of me as opposed to I become part of it. I think having a simple instrument means everybody who picks this up will play it in a different way. It will sound like whoever picks this up. I sound different every time I play this. All the gigs we do have different energy, have different vibes, and you kind of want something that will reflect how you're feeling in that moment. That just won't sound like one thing all the time. So I love keeping it simple for that reason. You have to do more to be interesting. So I think this picture was from a festival, and I'm not entirely sure where that was, but that was on Gorillaz Tour 2022. I'm in my pink baggy pants with the pink Thunder bass, and I clearly am having a great time, which is actually one of the hallmarks of this guitar, because it's just so much fun, and just makes life... just makes every gig better. That just epitomizes joy. I love what I'm doing, and I love the instrument that I'm playing. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, the Pink Thunder is so memorable to look at. Like, everybody who sees that bass cannot forget it. It really stands out, and I think it stood the test of time. But I love the fact that with this one, we've kept that memorable sort of iconic look, but we've kind of changed it enough so that I think a few more people can partake in this sort of memorable moment. I feel like the Dark Moon bass can be appropriate for way more situations than the Pink Thunder. The Pink Thunder also is still an amazing instrument, but I think this one, now that we've also added another pickup, it kind of does... It's a slightly more sonically versatile, I guess, instrument. And I can use this... I can really see myself using this in the studio a lot more. But also just on other gigs, I think this has still got pizzazz, do you know what I mean? It's still cool, and it's still a lightning bolt on the guitar. But I can use this with Gorillaz, I can use this with Damon, I can use this with my own stuff, which is so different to any of those things. My music is quite chilled and sort of quite dreamy, quite cinematic, and I think this also, this Dark Moon is sort of quite mysterious and almost quite melancholy. I think it really, really suits that as well. So a year for me outside of Gorillaz looks quite varied. So I live in London, and there I live quite near a few studios. So I could be writing music with my friend Charlie or my friend Toby, two collaborators that I work with all the time. I could be doing stuff like voiceover work, which I also do. I could be doing session stuff like home recording. Like you can just email me and ask me to play on your record, and I if I can, I will, for a fee. I play with other artists. I've been working on Self Esteem's latest album that's coming out. I play a bit of playing on that, a bit of writing on that. Writing my own stuff and composing. I've done some stuff for Harley Davidson for a short film of theirs, and I'm going to be doing something for another film to do with them as well soon. So it changes quite a lot. Modern musicians have to be versatile. I think if you want to make a living from music, and if you can't, not everybody has the chance to make money from like just one passion. I think you have to be able to diversify a bit. So thankfully, I'm able to do quite a lot of different things between Gorillaz shows. The purpose of putting music out in my own name, even though it's not as big as Gorillaz and all these things that I thankfully get to be a part of, is that's where I started. I mean, I was writing songs in my bedroom. Then I had a little skate punk band in high school, and then I went on to just write songs on my own and perform them on my own, and cover songs and pubs and open mic nights. So it's actually my original love and my original passion. And I think as a general artist and creative, it's like you always want your voice to be heard, quite literally my actual singing voice, but also just like your ideas, and you want to express those. I spend a lot of energy and a lot of time elevating other people's music to the world stage and in the studio, but I think we all need to spend time nourishing our own personal passion projects, even if they don't make you money, even if they're not as prominent or as big as the other things that you do, because it's not all about playing big stages, and it's not all about making loads of money. It's about sort of doing what makes you happy. So I think this show, I'm playing with Benjamin Clementine, and I believe we're at the Royal Albert Hall in London, which is actually I think it's my favourite venue in the world. And we're sharing a moment where me and Benjamin stood at the front of the stage playing an acoustic song. It's just me and him, and we're taking the audience for a ride. It's a really fun moment. And with that acoustic, one of the fun things about it, no one can believe me when I say I've just plugged, it's just a jack into the body of this guitar. Like, it just sounds so good, and people don't believe that that's, oh really, how did you do this, how did you do that? It's just like, it sounds that good. And yeah, the sound of that filling up the Royal Albert Hall with just Benjamin's amazing voice singing. If you don't know who Benjamin Clementine is, I think you need to check him out, because he's one of the best performers and singers I've ever worked with. That's a really fond memory, playing that acoustic on that stage in my favourite venue in London is pretty special. Which instrument do I think I'm more expressive with? I think I play both. I play the acoustic and I play the bass in very different ways. The bass, and they express different things. So bass can express things like groove and types of feel and types of melodies that the acoustic kind of can't, literally just because of frequency range, but also the actual way you play the two instruments are different. I write on the acoustic guitar. I tend to, even sometimes with bass lines, I'll work them out on the acoustic or the electric, and then I'll take it over to bass. And yeah, so I think they occupy different things in my head. I play bass on most of my records as well, so I get to express both when I'm doing my projects. But yeah, I think they're very, very different. When I'm playing acoustic, I come from the sort of school of more like sort of John Mayer / sort of singer-songwriter acoustic guitar players, sort of playing stuff on their own. You know, I use my thumb a lot, you know, self-accompanying style sort of thing. But then my bass playing is kind of all over the place, so it's a very different thing.
There's a hole in your heart, I can see you.
So I want to use my platform for more than just getting likes and, you know, comments and shares, you know. I think a lot of musicians, we grow up desperate to be famous. We grow up idolizing these people who have loads of money and, you know, rock and roll and all this stuff. But I think things like social media are such great tools. I mean, there's a lot of noise and a lot of horrible things on there as well. But I've connected to a lot of great people via social media, and I think I have a unique experience and a unique perspective on things, and it's worth sharing things that can help other people and let them know that they're not alone, let them know that it's all right to struggle with mental health and music, because it's a crazy thing. Like, being a full-time musician is a crazy job, and it's really hard. The highs are so high and the lows are so low, and how do you deal with that? How do you get better? How do you keep a job? How do you quit a job if it's not going well? Like, all of these things that if I can share some light and sort of demystify them as much as possible, I'll try. So, but I'm also constantly trying to make sure my relationship with social media is healthy. Like, I took a break over Christmas for weeks, like 3-4 weeks, and I needed to reset. I was watching it a bit too much and I was just getting a bit too obsessed with the numbers. So I've since taken a step back and I'm sort of building up again and trying to be a bit more deliberate and just bring value. Yeah, no, this is a special moment because this was in the old studio, the old workshop, choosing the wood for the guitar and for the fretboard. It's a dream. It's every guitar player's dream to. Like, I remember when I was like 16 with my friends with like Guitarist magazine or something like that, looking at guitars and just dreaming about owning one or getting to choose the wood, going on either the Jackson or the ESP website. I think they had like a custom guitar builder. Like you could just, and obviously none of us, we were children, so we couldn't buy anything, but we just like price up these amazing custom guitars. And to have had that opportunity to do something like that is really special and means that guitar is literally sort of a part of me, an extension of me. And no, that was really, really a special moment, and it's still mega. Like looking at it now, it's just like, wow, I still can't believe that kind of happened. And then now meeting this guitar as well, it's just like the dream sort of keeps growing and it's like getting better and better. So yeah, it's pretty special. I hope people use this bass however they want. I hope they don't see this or hear this and think they have to play any one style, or because honestly, I hold my hands up. I'm not one of these guitarists or these bass players that has like, studied jazz fusion and like I didn't listen to loads of Weather Report and Jacko and all this stuff. Like I can play, but like it doesn't matter who you are, whether you just like you're in a punk band and you know how to just like do one note at a time with attitude. Like I could see somebody playing, I could see the bass player from Idols could play this, and the bass player in like Usher's band could play this, and both would be appropriate. Both would bring something completely different to it. And I want that. I want musical instruments should be about bringing joy to whoever it is in whatever way that they want. And I really, really believe that this will be able to do that. So this year, you can go to my social media at Seye Music. That's me across all social media platforms. And I'll have some new music out this year. I'm going to be, doing some more shows for my stuff. I'm going to be just trying some new exciting things. I'm really looking forward to taking this out on the road this year for some things. And I'm going to be putting out new stuff, opening doors for people to start really good conversations on mental health and creativity and being good to ourselves, because we live in a world where at the moment sort of some weird things are on the rise and there's a lack of kindness and a lack of empathy. And I think as musicians we can bring people together. So I really hope that this instrument brings people together. I really hope that this year I get to express a lot more of my music than I ever have before. So it should be a good year. And happy 10-year anniversary.